What is going on, everyone? MikeO back with another Mail Day recap. First one in a while. That's been the theme as of late. Just keeping busy, staying busy, very busy. And that's why I don't get these videos out a little more often. And honestly, that's why I haven't gone crazy buying stuff either. Just kind of a time thing more so than anything else. So opening day is almost here. Baseball season is technically already underway. We had a couple games between the Cubs and Dodgers overseas, and the rest of baseball starts in 1 week, so that's pretty awesome. Definitely, as always, excited for baseball season. Excited for the entire Major League Baseball season, but specifically the Phillies, of course. I'll be fired up. Thankfully, I'm available on Thursdays, so I'll be able to watch game number 1. So hoping everything goes well. I foresee the Phils having a really solid regular season. They should be good. They have a really strong starting staff. They have some really nice pieces in the bullpen, not as much depth maybe as years past. The lineup is still really solid for the course of the regular season, though we've seen them falter in the postseason the last few years, but there's no reason to believe that they can't win 90 to 95 games and compete for a spot in the postseason or even potentially winning the division. Of course, the Braves, you got to expect will have a bounce back year with a full healthy squad. And the Mets, of course, had that magical run last year, so I'm sure some of that will be carried over. And then, of course, the momentum from acquiring Juan Soto. So you have 3 contending teams there in the East, so it will definitely be a dogfight, but looking forward to that. And just the season in general. Can't wait for it to start. On to the pickups. We'll show off a couple football pickups first, and then we'll get to the baseball pickups. Just a handful I've picked up when I find them at really fun prices, either at auction or things where you can make an offer. This is an Immortals Gold Parallel, numbered out of 25, of Adam Vinatieri. That's from Certified. This is a nice little card there from this year, so pick that one up. Thought that was a nice addition. From the Topps Chrome product, which overall I think there's some fun cards. Definitely some stuff at affordable prices that can be fun for the PC. Is it the perfect product? Of course not. Would it be a little nicer if it said the team name, if you had a little logo down here and full logos on the player? Of course. But we work what we've got right now. This is a gold, whatever it's called. I'm not sure the specific name this year for the product, but serial numbered out of 50 of Teddy Bruschi. So I was able to grab that for just a couple bucks. And then from Topps Composite, the nucleus refractors of Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady. So I was able to pick them up. So it's from Topps Composite. It's the Cosmic Chrome. There's a whole bunch of different sets in Topps Composite and then parallels of them also. Really hard to hit these. If you wanted to hit these, I mean, you'd have to open hundreds of boxes. So for just a few bucks, why not pick them up? I really like the nucleus refractors. I like to pick up some of the baseball ones when I can as well. And then my very first frozen fractor, which is a silly concept. I still think it's silly. But this is from 2024 Topps Chrome Football. Frozen fractor of New England Patriots quarterback Drew Bledsoe, guy that I specifically collect, one of my childhood favorite players, and it is serial numbered -3 out of 0. There's 5 copies. I would probably pick up like a Philly or a Bryce Harper at some point in the future if I got it at a really good price, but I mean, this is a parallel that I think when it was announced, it was thought of as unnecessary by most, and I would say after finally owning one, I would agree. Completely unnecessary. Kind of neat. The coloring's kind of something a little different, but honestly, a little bit silly. But still, it's always nice to add a new Drew to the collection. I don't go crazy picking up his stuff at this point in time, but I do look at it and I'll pick it up once in a while. So the rest of this stuff should all be Phillies pickups. We got the one vintage card, the one pre-war card. It's a 1914 Coupon Cigarettes. It's an authentic altered condition. It's a T213 Josh DeVore, Philadelphia for the National League. I will collect at times Philadelphia Athletics cards. I think they're neat, but my specific target is always Philadelphia Phillies, who of course are the National League squad. So definitely not something you see all the time. Was able to pick this one up at auction. So always nice to add another player that I don't have into the collection from a set that's not well represented. Rest of them, just some cheaper inserts and then some golden mirror image variations and then some cheap team sets that I picked up. I just recently picked up a whole bunch of empty binders and a ton of sheets, and I really want to go hard into the binders, kind of building them out. Haven't built a binder in a while, other than continuously adding to my Ultimate Topps Phillies team set, which is the flagship Topps. But want to get some other team sets, and it doesn't even have to be full team sets, but just some Phillies binders as well as other binders as well. But this is a 2003 Upper Deck 40-man, so it'll actually be fun to go through this. You can kind of see some of the checklists, but a lot of guys who don't have a ton of cards and sets like this, which I think is fun to hunt down, like a Turk Wendell, guys like that can be really fun. So pick that up. And I think Chase Utley has a card in there, which it's not like super easy to find. I think the Utley itself, honestly, probably goes for about $15. 1995 Fleer. One of the things I miss about having multiple different companies making cards, yeah, the competition, yes, high quality inserts, innovation, all that stuff, of course, is great for the hobby, but also different players. When you look at Topps and Upper Deck and Fleer and Score, some of these companies made different players than others, and we still see it nowadays. Not every player gets a card at any point for the team, so I like that. So I'll be going through this set. This is the whole set, including the updates. So there'll be some oddball guys in that are neat to pick up. 2002 Topps 206, full size, of course. Team set of that. 2002 Upper Deck. It's Carlos Silva. He was actually pretty solid for the Phils. Ended up getting traded to the Twins at some point, along with Nick Punto for Eric Milton. And this is the 1990 Donruss Baseball's Best Phillies team set, which somehow I didn't have. So adding another Von Hayes to the Von Hayes Super PC. And finally, a 2002 Fleer Tradition. I always like this set. This set's really fun. So I'll have a good time going through those and bindering them up. And on to the other stuff. We've got a 2003 Donruss Studio Masterstrokes insert of Pat Burrell. Pat Burrell had a really solid career with the Phillies. This one's numbered out at 1,000. Of course, best known as being a member of the 2008 World Series champions. I want to say he played about 8 years for the Phillies, then ended up going to Tampa Bay for a year and a half, and then San Francisco, where he ended up winning another World Series. But Pat Burrell, fan favorite, Phillies Wall of Famer. Definitely well remembered in Philadelphia, but at the same time, he was kind of one of the star players of the team in the mid-2000s, but ultimately by 2008, they actually had some bigger superstars, and then those guys stayed with the team for the last few years of those pennant-chasing years. So he kind of got a little bit forgotten to a degree because just overshadowed by Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley and Cole Hamels and other guys that they ended up ultimately picking up, like Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee and all those guys. But he's very cheap in the hobby to pick up. Here's Hall of Famer Scott Rowland. So that's a Fleer Mystique Scott Rowland from back in 1999. Beautiful looking card. Love the shine. From this year's Topps, it's a gold parallel of Zach Wheeler. Number due 2025. You can get most of these golds of any type of semi-star so unbelievably cheap. Considering you don't even necessarily get one in every hobby box or every jumbo box, let alone hobby box. I would say on average I saw 5 of these per case. It's a 330 card set. Do the math, a couple $100 a box. I mean, these are essentially free. Even the stars, they go for 15, 20, 30 bucks. Nothing compared to the price of obtaining via opening. And then this is an awesome card. Super happy to finally add this. Been trying to add this for a while. This is from 2009 Topps Heritage. This is a high number short print of Topps Magazine 08 All-Star Selection Chase Utley. So super cool card. And I love that 08 because, of course, that was the year that the Phillies won the World Series. So definitely a neat one. So calling out some of my fellow Phillies collectors. Chase this one down. It's not super cheap, but eventually you get a decent deal. I mean, Got a little edge wear on this one. So it's not a Gem 10 or anything, but I got this a lot cheaper than they typically are. I mean, you'll see them listed all the time for like 25, $30, but they're not super easy to obtain. Finally, got a whole string of Topps Golden Mirror image variations. I know these Sosas I may already have, but I was able to obtain some of these in a little group. So if I have any extras, they'll just be made available. But Edmundo Sosa, Phillies bench player, has had a nice run in Philadelphia. Key contributor to the 2022 National League Championship team. So those are neat. Say Nick Castellanos. This is the duo card with Jonathan India. Not very different from his base card. Here's a sweet Kyle Schwarber. He's got the NL Championship shirt there. That is from 2023 Series 2. And then from this year, which I haven't obtained many from this year's Topps because they've been really tough and really pricey. This is the Chris Sale, Zach Wheeler, Shota. There's two different league leaders in that same exact order. This is the ERA one because all three guys led the league in ERA and strikeouts. So that's the Golden Mirror image variation for that. And then also Ranger Suarez in a post-game interview. I'm guessing he's just getting doused by water or Gatorade, but it kind of looks like it's raining in the photo. He's definitely soaking wet. He had an unbelievable start to his season last year. Unfortunately, had some health issues in the second half, so he was limited and struggled. So his final numbers are 12-8 with a 3.46 ERA. He started like 10-1 with like a 1.8 ERA, so he was very ineffective later in the year, which was unfortunately disappointing. And just coming out now in the last day or so, he's having another little flare-up with his back. We were hoping for a big season out of him this year. He's in a contract year, so pitching for a lot of money. So hopefully he gets back on track. It would definitely help the Phils to have that really strong 1 through 5. But those are the pickups. Appreciate you guys watching. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the pickups. I'll definitely be back with another mail day at some point. I did pick up a huge Phillies collection recently, but honestly, have barely had time to even go through it, and it's way too much to ever do a full video on, but at some point, maybe I'll show off some of the highlights or some of the really interesting things when I can make it work. Otherwise, gear up for baseball season, enjoy the hobby, do it for fun, have fun, and enjoy some of the great collector channels out there because there are definitely a ton of them in this hobby, in this space. Have yourselves a great one. See ya.